Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is John and this is your Modern Tech Breakdown. Today I'm looking at some technical details behind a potential blind spot in endpoint protection for Linux instances. Let's jump into it. Here I have a great write-up from the Register about how a security company named Armo has created a proof of concept where a malicious program could avoid the use of system calls and thereby avoiding detection by multiple endpoint protection tools. Specifically, the proof of concept program uses a Linux interface called IO-URing. This interface allows a program to make high-performance I/O calls without making system calls for each and every read and write operation. And unfortunately, it's system calls that are typically monitored by endpoint protection tools, so it's not a great situation. Basically, this interface allows a program to perform I/O operations without being scrutinized by the monitoring tools. But there is a little bit of good news. IO-URing came out in 2019 and it can be disabled. However, you'll need to understand if any applications rely on this particular interface. And even if an application can run without this interface, it still might slow down performance of that application if it reverts back to the normal system calls. And in fact, Google has disabled IO-URing entirely in Chrome OS and restricts its use on Android after it shelled out $1 million in bug bounties related to IO-URing. So disabling it or restricting it is possible, but will obviously require some detailed investigation for any particular environment. And lastly, it seems that some of the endpoint protection package makers have acknowledged this potential blind spot and are apparently addressing it. But from my understanding, this blind spot only applies to programs that are already loaded into the system. It's not obvious to me that this could be used as a way to get into the system. So as long as you can keep the bad guys out to begin with, this potential blind spot won't come into play. However, it could be used by bad guys to cover up their tracks once they've already infiltrated a system, but at that point, all bets are off anyway. But I'll leave this one here for now. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.